All right, where's the kudzu?
It's up top to the right. Well, this ridge, this knoll here, and this going down to the creek was covered in kudzu 2-3 years ago when I first came up here. It was about knee high when you were walking, which is tricky on a slope because you can't see your feet and you don't know what's under you, like these dead logs that were covered. You can see behind me, it can just jump up and over one that's 4 feet in the air, and you can see the dead vines there, or behind it another fallen tree that is over. But all of that was here, just like that, but it was bright green and thick. So at the time, we started hand digging the crowns out of each one. And this little area I'm in might have 50 crowns at that time. And so you don't get them all every time, but you get some, and you thin it and thin it. There is a spray that'll work in the woods. It'll kill only kudzu, and it's called Transline, because kudzu is a legume, part of the pea family. And that's all Transline can kill, is pea family. It leaves azaleas and trees and grasses and everything else. So it's a safe one to use, but you have to do it more than once, at least twice a year. And it's making progress. If you look up the hill a little bit, you'll see some green covering. That's all wild geraniums that were here that we had no idea. We also found bloodroot coming up, another wild. It was here, even though years of kudzu hadn't killed it. It was there all along. So it's progress, but it takes a lot of time and a lot of maintenance to bring it back to what it was at one point before kudzu invaded. Older root, older crown, big taproot. And out it comes. So in one little area we have 3 good-sized crowns already, and we keep finding more. This is Chloe. Hopefully she'll stay out of the video. And this is kudzu. It's a big vine of kudzu. 2 main vines coming in, one here and one here. And then it's all leading down into under the ground. Under the ground will be a crown. A crown is probably, in this case, a fist-size piece of vegetative material that is the manufacturing part of the plant. What that does is it generates the vines, it generates the roots and stuff. And without that crown, the manufacturing part of the plant, the whole plant dies. So my job is to get below that crown and cut it off from its roots. The roots proceed on downward from the crown, and they can go anywhere from, I don't know, 2 to 3 feet or longer. And it's just a starch or a resource for the rest of the plant. If you dismember the roots from the crown, the whole plant dies. Wow, this is going to be a nice one. So you can see this right here. This is the crown right there. It's about the size of a tennis ball. And coming off the crown are the roots. This is a root here, there's a root there, there's a root that's going down to the bottom. So if I cut off these 3 roots, 1, 2, 3, from the crown right here, I've disconnected the food source for the rest of the plant. Everything from this point on up is going to die. So that's the beauty of doing it this way. And you can do it any time of the year. You can do this in the winter, the summer, it doesn't matter when you do it.
you're going to knock out or kill the plant?
Well, it's a beautiful forest, and it feeds two creeks, one on each side of this knoll, and kudzu chokes everything out, and then it'll spread itself down the creek into the rivers and down the waterways, as it has in the Pacolet River, going down towards the Broad. When they say kudzu's invasive, it's an understatement. It's a tough plant. You respect it, but there's no enemies to kudzu in this part of the world. There seem to be in its native area in Asia, because it doesn't take over like this. It grows more like a basic vine would around here, like a trumpet vine.
So I've been a Kudzu Warrior for, I guess, since 2011 or 2010. I've been doing this for 10 or 11 years. It started out with Pacolet Conservancy, which was stationed in Polk County, North Carolina, and they've since merged with the conservation group that was in Hendersonville. Now they call themselves Conserving Carolina. And we've had over the years anywhere from 2 volunteers to 10 or 11. And we've always been working on Mondays. And we've cleared up kudzu probably, I don't know, 15 acres of most invasives, and have made this park, wilder forest, much more amenable to native plants and grasses and trees, and have restored a lot of the beauty of this forest. Over the years, well, especially in the last, I would say, 2 to 3 years, we've had a lot more volunteer interest and movement. We've had a lot more people come and actually stay with us. Currently, we're probably at 6 strong volunteers, meaning that almost every week we can count on anywhere from 4 to 6 people coming. And that does a lot as far as making an impact on removing invasives. Usually we stay here for 2 hours, and we go for coffee afterwards. As far as community interest, I've seen that it seems to be growing. There's a lot more people that are interested in protecting their property from kudzu and other invasives. And one of the things that people can do if they're interested in removing it is to contact Conserving Carolina or any conservation group, because there's usually a subgroup within the conservation organization that's working at removing invasive plants. And if they don't have the information for you, they can point you to somebody that does have that information.
So you can see, had a couple signs up there near the trunk of that tree. Yeah. That was a test spot for our first spray. Just, and found out that if you spray in March or April, it doesn't do any good. I mean, it kills it, and by June, it's back.
It doesn't suck those nutrients, the chemicals in.
Yeah. So when we started using Transline during blooming season, which is August, September, and we just quit. We do it again, it sucks it in then because it's trying to bloom and seed. And then you come back in the spring, and what we're going to try again this spring is take a light spray when the little seedlings come up. So I can show you, we'll see around there, they sprout from seed too. That's rare, but here we are cultivating it by digging. It's like hand cultivating, and the seeds start, and we realize, wait a minute, this is never ending. You're going to have something for maintenance each year. Maybe just once, like you do for Bermuda grass or crabgrass or something, but still.
Right.
Otherwise you'll come back in 3 years and go, what the hell?